A Colorado Springs woman says it took police hours to arrive at her home after she found her front door kicked in and some things missing. Now she wants to know why. News First 5's Matt Stafford spoke with her and the police about what happened and brings us both sides.
Looks like an abandoned house, doesn't it?
The welcome mat in front of a boarded door isn't exactly convincing, but Zelna Joseph says she came home from work only to discover that thieves took it literally.
And it's a really bad feeling to drive up to your house and your door's open.
She called the police, who she says told her don't touch anything until they arrive. She also called her insurance agent, who stopped by but had to wait.
But I couldn't let them do anything until the police came.
She says that was 4 hours later. According to police, it was 3 hours and 20 minutes. For Joseph, who considered it a crisis, that's still too long.
Priority dictates what we do a lot of times. Safety and welfare of people are top priority, and then it goes down from this.
Lieutenant Brian Ritt says that same time frame Friday evening, Springs police got 216 calls, many of them high priority. He says that's about a quarter's worth of an average day's calls, all in about 3 hours.
It does delay our response to property type crimes.
Lieutenant Ritz acknowledges Joseph's crime was down on the list. Joseph says when officers finally arrived, they simply took a report and left. After some investigating of her own, Joseph thinks she found an overlooked handprint on a wall, leaving her to wonder how hard police will work on her case. How are these crimes being investigated right now?
A property crime is investigated by the officer that responds to the initial call for service.
Lieutenant Ritt says cuts and restaffing have reduced the number of detectives handling property crimes to about a dozen. He says they mainly stick to pattern crimes and the ones with bigger leads. As for Joseph, she plans to take matters into her own hands by investing in a security system, and she hopes the city takes a similar proactive approach.
If they're not solving these crimes, then these crimes aren't being prevented.
Matt Stafford, News First 5.
And for police, Matt reports that their workload is increasing. In the last 4 years, the population's gone up by about 27,000 people, and the number of calls to police has increased by more than 48,000. In the meantime, Springs Police has had to cut 41 officer positions.